in the city of Ayenfe, where glass towers rose like New Age baobabs and the roads hummed with the impatience of ambition, people believed that poverty was a curse louder than bad character. It was whispered about in salons, mocked in taxis, and feared in marriages. And it was this fear that once lived in the heart of a woman named Morun Keji. Morun Keji had not always been hard. Once she laughed easily. Once she braided her hair under the moonlight while her husband told stories to their children. Once she believed love could survive on little. But the world is a clever liar, and it convinced her that love without money was an insult to her dreams. Her husband's name was Ademola. Ademola was poor, not in spirit, not in integrity, but in coins and connections. He was the kind of man who woke before dawn and slept after midnight, chasing opportunities that slipped through his fingers like water. He sold phone accessories by the roadside, repaired radios for neighbors, and sometimes came home with nothing but dust on his shoes and hope in his eyes. Hope, however, does not always pay school fees. They had 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. Their laughter filled the small rented apartment, but so did unpaid bills. The landlord knocked more often than relatives visited. Moronkeji began to measure her life not by love, but by comparison. Other women's shoes, other women's holidays, other women's husbands. Each night, she looked at Ademola and saw not a man trying, but a future she feared. One evening, after a particularly bitter argument about rent, Morunkeji packed a small bag. She did not kiss the children goodbye. She did not promise to return. She did not even look back. "I cannot die in poverty," she said, a voice cold, like rain that falls without blessing. And just like that, she left. Ademola stood in the doorway with 3 children clinging to his legs, watching the woman he loved disappear into the darkness. That night, he did not cry loudly. He simply sat on the floor and held his children, whispering to them what he was not sure he still believed himself. Tomorrow will be better. 5 years later, Ayanfe had changed. Or perhaps it was Moronkeji who had. She now wore confidence like perfume. Her heels clicked with authority on marble floors. She worked at the Obercrown Hotel, a 5-star masterpiece owned by one of the wealthiest corporations in the country. Crystal chandeliers hung like frozen stars, and the walls smelled of imported luxury. Morokeji was no longer the woman who left with a small bag. She had relocated to the city, endured hunger, insults, and loneliness. She had climbed carefully, first as a cleaner, then a receptionist, and now a senior hospitality officer. She had learned to smile, even when tired, to flatter, even when empty, to survive, even when ashamed of her past. She never checked back. Not once did she ask about the children. Not once did she send money. In her mind, that life had ended. Survival had taught her a dangerous lesson. Forgetting is easier than facing guilt. At the hotel, she had caught the attention of Mr. Raymond Cole, the general manager. He was polished, powerful, and kind in a way that felt expensive. Their conversations lingered longer than necessary. His compliments felt like validation. For the first time in years, Moronkeji believed she had finally chosen right. That night, the hotel hosted a grand gala, a celebration of success, wealth, and new partnerships. The elite arrived in tailored suits and glittering gowns. Cameras flashed. Music flowed like royalty. Then she saw him. He stood near the entrance, calm and dignified, dressed in a simple but well-fitted suit. His posture was quiet, confident, not loud like men who borrowed importance. His eyes scanned the hall as though he owned time itself. Her heart stopped. Ademola. The past crashed into her chest like a forgotten drumbeat. Her hands trembled. Her breath became shallow. She turned away immediately, pretending to check her tablet, her smile frozen and fake. Raymond noticed. Are you okay? He asked gently. You look uncomfortable. Moro Keiji forced a laugh. Just tired, sir. But her eyes betrayed her. Raymond followed her gaze briefly, noticing Ademola. Do you know him? He asked. No, she said quickly, too quickly. Just someone who looks familiar. Raymond nodded, unconvinced, but polite. Throughout the evening, Morokiji avoided Ademola like a shadow avoids light. She did not know why he was there, and she was afraid to find out. In her mind, he should still be poor, still struggling, still insignificant. That belief was her only comfort. As the night reached its peak, the chairman of the hotel stepped onto the stage. The room quieted. Glasses paused midair. Ladies and gentlemen, he began, thank you for celebrating with us tonight. This gala also marks a historic moment for the Obercrown Hotel. Morunkeji straightened. The hotel has officially been acquired by a new owner, an investor whose journey embodies resilience, vision, and humility. The room buzzed. Please join me in welcoming our new chairman and majority shareholder. He paused. Mr. Ademola Adeyemi. The world fell silent. Morunkeji felt the ground leave her feet. Applause erupted. Cameras turned. Ademola stepped forward, calm, composed, his face steady, like a man who had already fought his wars in private. Morunkeji's vision blurred. Her knees weakened. Shame wrapped around her like chains. This was not the man she left. This was the man she underestimated. She remembered his words. Tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow had come. As Ademola spoke, he thanked mentors, partners, and life itself. He did not boast. He did not mention pain. But Moronkeji heard everything he did not say. After the event, she tried to leave quietly. But life does not allow unfinished stories to escape. Moronkeji. Her name sounded different in his mouth. Older, heavier. She turned slowly. Ademola stood there, his eyes soft, not bitter. I knew it was you, he said. You haven't changed much. Tears burned her eyes. I didn't know, she whispered. He smiled gently. I didn't think you would. Silence stretched between them. The children, she finally asked, her voice shaking. They're well, he replied. They never stopped asking about you. I told them you were chasing your dreams. Her tears fell freely now. I was wrong, she said. I was afraid. I know, he replied. Fear makes people leave. Love makes people stay. She looked at him, broken. Can you ever forgive me? Ademola sighed, looking away for a moment. Forgiveness is easy, he said. Trust is not. Morukeji did not get the ending she imagined. The general manager distanced himself. The hotel became a daily reminder of her choices. She continued working, but now under the leadership of the man she once abandoned. Ademola took care of his children, raised them with values stronger than wealth. He did not speak badly of the mother. He let life teach its own lessons. And Moronkeji learned them all. Never measure a person's future by the present struggle. Poverty is not a crime, but abandoning responsibility is. Love, tested by hardship, reveals character. The seeds you abandon may grow into forests without you. Success without integrity is noise. Success with humility is a legacy. In Ayanfi, elders say that life is a drum. It remembers every hand that strikes it. One day, it will echo your rhythm back to you. Moronkeji learned that night that some doors close not in anger, but in wisdom. And some lessons arrive dressed in suits under chandeliers when it is already too late to pretend you don't recognize them.